Share a couple things. I want to share a couple things that might help you all. Um, yeah. Okay, so a couple things here. I did not get to donate plasma. I had every intention of going there and getting some plasma donated to cover some of my expenses from money I still have from somebody blessing me, right? So I'm always trying to make money. Especially if I spend money, I kind of want to get my money back and figure out how to do that. So, I waited and waited. I waited a while. They're like, you have to see medical for some reason. And I'm just like, so actually I carry books on me. So this book that I had gotten from the airport, I picked up again. And I had this book on me, and I had stopped at the thrift store and I had purchased a book for 99 cents to keep me busy. So I don't like wasting my time, and it's very important to me not to waste time. So, so I had that going on, and then they were like, yeah, well, we need the dates to your prescription. It's like cream and biotics from a while ago. I didn't even have to tell them that I took that. So I'm like, I don't have the dates. You have to call the pharmacy. And I'm like, okay, so I've been here a couple hours and I'm going to have to probably come back another time because, the pharmacy has a long line on the phone. So I wasn't sure what to do because I really wanted to get some extra money today. And so I went over to Whataburger, and I've never been there, and I ordered a salad. And this book helped me with that decision. This book helped me because he says, make sure when you're eating, you think of things this way. You think, is this helping me get to my goal, or is it taking me further away from my goal? And so I'm like, okay, I'll get a salad. So I got a salad. They do really good salads there. They're huge. They're very good. So so I saw a homeless man and I had been filled. So I'm like, hey, you can have my salad if you'd like. And he was so grateful. So grateful. And again, this book talks about people who feel entitled don't get anywhere in life with their attitude. It's the ones who are grateful. And that is why it's so important to be grateful every single day for so much that you do have. Not what you don't have, but what you do have. And so, my phone is going in and out. So, I had left him without really any much of dressing, and he had gone up to the register and was like, "Can I have another dressing?" And they're like, well, it costs, 98 cents or whatever. And he went away without his dressing, and I said, let me get him some dressing. And I'm not saying this to toot my own horn at all, but I felt bad to say I gave him a salad, and he, it's just, how would I want to eat a salad, I would want dressing. So again, this book talks about how to change your life and make it successful is by changing little things you do, taking bad habits and turning them into good habits. And so I just thought, try to care a little bit more. And he talks in the book about how a lot of your life is based on relationships. I tend to think, oh, I work hard. And he says relationships are extremely important. So I was like, okay, so, I had said to someone, is he a regular here? And he was. And then they were talking to him and stuff. And then he says, I said, hey, do you need something over there at the thrift store? And he's like, yeah, I need a belt. Or no, he says he needs a backpack. So I said, well, let me go back to the plasma center. I'll meet you over there. So we looked for backpacks, and they knew him over there. He's a regular. So he needed a belt. And anyways, all I did was show Christ-like love. Got him a nice Bible. They went out back to find it for him because he wanted a big one. And basically, I felt like people aren't going to listen to you unless you show that you care, right? So I invited him to church, and then I said, hey, what's your story, right? And this was heartbreaking. He had, as a kid, he said, had a chaotic home growing up, and then it was the pharmacies that he got addicted to the opiate drug. And then he went into opiate therapy, and it wrecked his body because he said there was a steady flow of somehow it tricking your body into thinking it's getting a regular flow. So he said that he'll look for me in church, and I just geez, it's really heartbreaking to see some of the choices that he had made or whatever had happened that dug him into that hole. And so when I called Uber, because I went back to the plasma place again for the third time, and they were booked. They were so busy, and I guess they had a shortage of machines, they said today. So I'm like, okay, this isn't happening. And I hate losing money. I do. You know, I don't mind spending it on what I want, but I hate when I go after getting some money and I don't, you know, I don't get it. So I'm like, okay, you're going to have to call it a day, Melissa. You know, they're closing soon too. So I left there and I had a cool Uber driver again, and we were talking, and she's like, look at that man over there. She's like, it looks like he's on something. And I'm like, yeah, I just talked to him and this is what happened. And she's like, that is so sad. So he was kind of in and out with, you know, I don't know, talking and then talking to other people and then going down. And it looked like, you know, he was probably on some kind of medication or something. It was extremely sad. So you know, my plans are not always mine. God had a different plan today. I felt like, shoot, I just spent $10 on an Uber and then another 10. I didn't get the 50 that I wanted, but God had another plan. And, you know, it's really good to be out there and listen to other people. And even my Uber driver was saying she had a crazy day, and the police had called her about some guy she picked up, and he had actually just robbed a house. He had like swords, she said, in the back, and she had picked him up from an office thinking that he was kind of normal, and the police called her and said he actually had robbed a house. So so he had a anklet bracelet on, she noticed after she dropped him off. So crazy stories, and it was good to just listen to her and be there to help her, you know, process. We as women talk and process things, and so it's important to be there for other people as much as you can, guys. And again, this book helped me to think differently. Don't just look at things as how to solve problems in life either. Look at things, solving problems is positive, but look at things as, how can I meet these goals? How can I meet the goals? And that little change that he talked about with, instead of spending time on like, how can I solve this problem? And you have to identify a problem before you can solve it, right? He talked about going forward more with goals. And I thought that is such a tiny little difference in a book that you read that can really change your mindset. And so I have another video I'll be doing that he talks about in this book to help you with your mindset, with something else. And I just thought, this book is just awesome. So I highly recommend Choose to Win by Tom Ziglar. So good book. Okay, guys, thanks for joining me.